What is going on, guys? So it looks like we have just lost the Community Shield final. I'm going to start doing a bit more videos like this where, we just have a small discussion. Eventually I'll start turning this into live streams as well. Just sorting out some logistics. But yeah, let's talk about it, man. Liverpool lost the Community Shield. A game of two halves almost. I never really got to watch the game with the family. I was out, so I was watching that game, on the phone. But seeing pieces of that first half, we were playing such amazing football. And I could really see the project, in motion. But Liverpool didn't really show that same hunger, in that second half, and I think a bit of it was down to tactics as well. I didn't really enjoy seeing Soboslai and Curtis Jones having their little partnership, and I think there is still going to be a bunch of tweaking that needs to happen because you see when a club buys a lot of players, which Liverpool did, um, most of the time a club doesn't really let go of a lot of players as well. There'll be a lot of intakes, but not that many outtakes. And then Liverpool really are doing almost a player for player sort of thing. Like Trent Alexander-Arnold went, and Frimpong came in. We lost Luis Diaz. We lost Darwin Nunez. We lost Jota. Unfortunately, very tragic accident that we all know happened. But then a lot of Liverpool players came in now with Florian Wirtz and Ekitike, and we're still going after Isak, and like it's just all happening to the point where it's almost a whole different squad, and it's not really gonna be as seamless the transition as many people are assuming it would be. Um, I think with players like Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez and even Mohamed Ashvili, I feel like those will be a bit more easier. Frimpong because I feel like even Trent Alexander-Arnold had a lot of similar characteristics in the sense where they will provide Liverpool with a lot more attack. They're not really as focused in defense. But now I'm just talking about like your, Florian Wirtz. Like Liverpool hasn't really played with an out and out number 10 since like Philippe Coutinho. And now that definitely changes the system. And now I think with this new style of play that I'm seeing Arne Slot play in preseason and now also here in the Community Shield, I think it will take a toll on Salah's game and Salah's play style. I don't really see him, shining under this new slot system. I feel like even if you have FPL, this is a very brave one from me, but I wouldn't suggest Mo Salah this season because I'm just not seeing him being as effective as he was last season. Last season, Salah had a lot more control, a lot more freedom, should I rather say, and I think now Arne Slot wants to have a bit more of a system in play where through the middle is where the freedom will come. So that's where, Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, those will be the players that Slot probably won't give that many instructions to because he can see that they are players that can pull a rabbit out of that. But I think on the wings, I really see our wingers, both Cody Gakpo, Mohamed Salah, Milos Kerkez, Frimpong, those guys are gonna have dedicated instructions to them, and I don't really see them being as free as like Salah and Trent were last season. Those are just some of my thoughts, but a bit more on the game. Crystal Palace well deserved, and I think they definitely showed up in that second half. And the penalty shootout, oh my word, Liverpool basically threw it away for themselves also in the shootout because Salah's penalty terrible. McAllister's penalty was quite good. It was just a very good save from Dean Henderson, but then Elliott's penalty is terrible also. Yeah, I feel like it just wasn't meant to be, and I see a lot of fans are talking about the whole. If you win the Community Shield, it's usually like a curse because you don't end up winning the league, and it's low-key true because I think the only team that's done that in like the past 6, 7 years, maybe even 8 years, maybe even longer, was Manchester City. When obviously Man City did their whole three-peat, they managed to, or not three-peat, four-peat, should I rather say. Yeah, they managed to win the Community Shield somewhere in there, and they managed to win the league again. So it is doable, but it's looking more negative than positive. So that's the only thing that's really giving me happiness in this moment because I did want to win. I really did. I wanted all these players to already taste some success at Liverpool. Darwin Nunez, when he was still here, his first goal for Liverpool was that clincher against Manchester City in the Community Shield. I think it does make a difference in my opinion. But now it's alright. If anything, it might humble the players because I know some of our fans were a bit overboard the past couple of weeks with all of these new signings. I think the main message I want to just send out with this video is that I am slightly concerned with the transition now with all of these new players coming in and Slot doing a whole new style of play. I tried to call it already from the Florian Wirtz signing. I was like, there's no way Slot will still play with a 4-3-3. He hardly plays with just one formation in a game. But this time, I really don't think a 4-3-3 would be his main one. Like, his stock standard, the default setting. I don't think that will be a 4-3-3 anymore with Florian Wirtz. And I feel like a 4-2-2 would most likely be the standard now for him. And it's difficult, man. Like, to see those wingers like your Cody Gakpos and your Mo Salahs, and even now the up and coming Rio and Gamoa. And I'm like struggling to see how a winger, like fits into Slot's system. I think Slot is a guy that wants to have a lot more possession and control, especially in that final third. And I think you'll rather opt for a Hugo Ekitike, a technical striker, and a Florian Wirtz, a number 10, that can do that. The creativity plus a bit more pressing and a bit more of an engine. So it'll be interesting to see how the season will pan out. I didn't really make too many videos. I should have. Made more videos leading up into the season. I'm still going to do a whole Premier League prediction video, so don't worry about that. But I thought I'll just make this video. We'll try and do this after every game as well, a bit more of a raw one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. Liverpool, I am not nervous heading into the season, other than the fact that I hope Slot knows what he's doing, because a lot of players are coming in, and it's just all good. It's going to be a whole new system as well. It's just, that's the only concern for me. Do I think we have the quality? Of course. Do I think we have a good manager? Of course. It's just that time it takes to really figure things out and let the players gel with each other. It's a small question mark. I'm not gonna say it's a big one to the point where Liverpool won't even compete for the league anymore. We will compete for the league. We'll compete for the Champions League. We'll compete on all four fronts. Carabao Cup, FA Cup. It's just how long will this take? I really don't know. What are your thoughts in the comments?